Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Albany and thank you so much for all the love that I've received on my booktube newbie tag. Can't wait to get all these videos rolling out. So let's just get into this video. As you can see from the title, I'm doing all of the books that I've read so far in 2019. Now I made a goal to get to 50 books. On my Goodreads, which I'll link below so you can follow me, I am at 6 books. Probably by the time, like in the next 3 days or so from this video when it's posted, which I'm filming it today and I'm posting it today, I should have 8 books. I am sorely behind because it is already, people are doing the mid-year book tag and my mid-year is looking tragic. So this channel is going to keep me on track on my reading because I can't be having the low numbers. I know, I mean, I can have low numbers, but I want to read more. So this channel is going to really help me because I love to read, but I just get so caught up in life and working and stuff like that where I'm not reading. So this is another reason why I'm doing it. Also get in the habit of reading more, because reading is not only fundamental, but reading is just fun. And how can I want to one day, I will be a writer one day, an author myself, and the best way to be an author is also to be an avid reader. So I need to get back to reading. But okay, let's just jump into the video. Based off my Goodreads, so far that I've read, these are books. All right, so I definitely picked these up in December or January. I just was like on a poetry kick, so my first 3 books are some poetry books. First one up, I have Two Fish by Janae Aiku. I'm gonna be real with y'all, I'm a Pisces, March 13th, just to let you know. And so I got this because she's also Pisces. It is called Two Fish and it got our sign. But even so, I really do love this book. I wish that I could write poetry. Really, a lot of the poetry was written of loss, and I definitely can relate to that because I've lost people. This book is also relating to self-love, and I'm on that self-love kick at the moment, so I definitely relate to that. And so I really appreciate it. I keep this book specifically on my desk as a remembrance to love myself. So I love this book, and I would, because I'm a Pisces, I'm sorry, I just gotta rate it at a 5. No, I would definitely rate it as a 5. I like that her own illustration, her own writing, you just see, you know, her little notes that she did throughout her life and her coming up with her songs, like that's in here. So it's 5. But honestly, I also can't really rate poetry because poetry, you know, autobiographies, I mean, you can rate poetry, but for me, it's not so much, it's about how impactful it is for me. So I really, it could be the crappiest writing to somebody else, but if it's impactful to me, then to me it's a 5. Which I'm not saying this is crappy, but this is good. I also reread Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I think that's how you pronounce it. I have this as an ebook form, but I really wanted to have it as a book so that I can also just grab it and, you know, and I also kind of want to annotate it again. Like this book, like I said, I'm just on a self-help kick at the moment, and this type of poetry is just really inspiring me, and I just love her writing as well. This one specifically just kind of goes through the emotions of where you were, where you are, and then, you know, what you can be if you let things go. And so I really like this book. I don't know what else to say. Poetry, like I said, it's kind of hard for me. Well, I picked up all of these books at the same time. I also picked up The Princess Saves Herself in This One by Amanda Lovelace. And again, I mean, even in the back, it says a story of a princess turned damsel turned queen. And I just feel like in my life at the moment, my camera's like kind of freaking me out. But in my life at the moment of my self journey, I'm just being really inspired by books and poetry and authors. I want to get the other one that is the witch doesn't die in this one. I want to get that. The next book that I have is a book that I am about to talk about, but also is inspiring some other videos that I definitely haven't seen before on BookTube. Now, I feel like, well, first of all, the book is this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a, you know, and then by Mark Manson. And this book was all over the place, not so much on BookTube, but on Instagram, celebrity. I've read this book. I like the book. I would recommend the book. But I feel like I do what a lot of people do, and I know people do it because I do it. I've read this whole book, but all I can tell you that I've learned from it is stop caring about things that are not present, that is not particularly important to your life. That's what I gained from this. And I mean, and that is the overall message of this book. But I mean, this it's not a thick book, but he definitely has some more points in here that I just didn't apply to my life because I read the book, liked the book, and then moved on. But how practical are these books? I want to answer that question. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to reread this one day. I'm not going to, I don't know yet, but I'm going to review self-help books in a different way. Let's add the self-help books into my life and discuss the principles that's in the book, the principles that I applied to my life, and then the after effects of applying those principles. That's it. I want to do a book about that. I want to do videos about the different self-help books that I have read, that I'm going to reread, and then that I'm going to read in the future, and get into the nitty-gritty. By applying these principles, has it really helped me in my life? I feel like that would be interesting because I know these books are not one of, if not one of the best-selling genres. It has to be number 1 to 2 or 3. Like, I know it. So, and I feel like not a lot of people say, oh, this helps me read this book, but how much do they really apply it? So, and I will be answering that question. How does it help me when I apply it? So the next book that I read is Children of Blood and Bone. Great book, fantastic book. I was definitely in a reading slump when I picked up the book, so it took me a lot longer to read it. But I love the world building, love the I love every character but one. I don't like the main prince. I felt the love interest and the back and forth a little like annoying. Like, I honestly hated it, and that's probably sometimes why I didn't want to pick it back up, not just because I was like in a slump and I was kind of pushing myself through it, but overall I'm looking forward to the second book. Current read is right now Alex and Eliza, a love story by, almost dropped the book, Melissa De La Cruz. I picked this book up from BAM Books A Million, based off of the cover. I just thought the cover was gorgeous. I was originally going to read this in February. Didn't get to it, but I'm reading it now. You can see I'm going to be finished it by tonight. I will. But yeah, light read. I definitely speed reading this. Oh my gosh! I forgot a book that I read. definitely will be speed reading this and finishing. Before I get to my last current read that I'm reading at the moment, I forgot. I read the seven and a half Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart. You'll see the book right here. I gave it away, but I'm letting somebody borrow my actual physical copy, so I don't have it, and that's why I forgot about it. But I read that after I read Children of Blood and Bone. Fantastic book. Love the book. 5 out of 5 stars. It still took me a little bit long to read because I just wasn't, I guess maybe I needed something lighthearted, something funny, because I'm flying through the Alex and Eliza right now. But that book, even though like it was mind-blowing, like I love every aspect of it, I guess I just wasn't in the mood of trying to figure out a mystery. I don't know, but I do really like it, and the ending was such a twist. But that was another read, so that was my 6 reads. And again, so my current reads right now, Alex and Eliza, and then I'm also audiobooking A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Game of Thrones has officially ended. I am so sad about it, but George R.R. Martin is still alive, and there are still books that he will hopefully one day be finishing. He wants to be caught up with the books portion of books pretty much, instead of just the show. So because I know it's going to be it's probably going to end the same, but it's going to definitely be a different experience, because books are always a different experience than TV shows and movies. But anyway, that's it. Those are my current reads and the books I've read so far. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.